There is going to be an effort to portray anybody who opposes her as either being sexist or racist. What does the campaign do? How does the Trump campaign get ahead of all of that?
Look, I think that this whole DE&I token hire of Kamala Harris has already been exposed.
But I'm all in now. I'm 100% now for this reason. He called her a DEI candidate. And as a black man, I can't let no white man talk about no sister like that. And I not take offense to it.
So I've been doing this for quite some time, right? Enough to have seen many speeches from notable figures articulately voicing their disdain for the former president. But when it comes from a religious leader, those who actually subscribe to the very doctrine that Trump and his cult followers wield like a sword as they demonize and persecute the most vulnerable people in society, it holds a different power, carries a more poignant message, and is all the more important to highlight.
And Republicans are all in because he is the avatar for their grievance. How qualified does a black person have to be? Graduated at the top of her class at Howard, went to law school, was Attorney General of a state, a United States Senator, a Vice President of the United States, but she's not qualified? I'm all in.
With the news trending that Kamala Harris's favorability among American voters has rose significantly in the weeks since she declared she would run to replace Joe Biden, while also Trump's favor has fallen, by the way.
In recent days, they've been trying to portray themselves as the party of unity. But here's the thing. If you claim to stand for unity, you need to do more than just use the word. You cannot claim you stand for unity if you are pushing an agenda that deprives whole groups of Americans of basic freedoms, opportunity, and dignity. You cannot claim you stand for unity if you are intent on taking reproductive freedoms from the people of America and the women of America. You cannot claim to be for unity if you try to overturn a free and fair election. We're too busy watching what you're doing to hear what you're saying.
The response from the self-declared party of God has been as Christian as Trump himself, no matter how much they pretend he is. Meaning, yeah, not at all. They've resorted to racism and outright misogyny when attacking her character. So much so that even the arbiters of hate at Fox News have tried to distance themselves from this message.
But the attacks on her personally, on whatever her past personally may have been, or calling her a childless lady, none of those are going to work, and they're going to make women second guess their support for what they may have felt for Donald Trump.
The idea that we should have a law that says you can have an abortion at any point, no questions asked, even up until the moment of birth, I think for most Americans is a loon wing position. That's just my opinion, and but that's also what the
just to make it, no, you're absolutely fair game to make it. I'm just wondering how you think that will resonate with women when she is called nasty and crazy and a ding dong and all, and disrespectful between you and the president, what has been said about her. I'm just wondering, do you worry how that comes across? And maybe you draw no distinction between a female candidate and a male one, then that's fair game. But that this could hurt you with female voters with these type of comments.
Well, let me say it again.
Sure.
The vice president is a candidate for president of the United States. I don't care about her gender. Neil, maybe you do, but I don't. I don't care about her race. I care about her competence.
Then why call her a ding-dong?
And I'm telling you what the polling shows. The polling shows. And it does. And I'll be glad to sit down with you and walk you through the polls.
Please do, because I never know when it's constructed to call people names, Senator. On the left or the right.
But I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but Let me say it again.
Senator, you keep bringing it back to my feelings. My feelings matter a little. All I'm telling you is if you think you can gain this November calling people names, I don't know how far that goes, left or right, but we'll see. It's still early, to your point.
Your feelings seem to me like they matter to you a lot, Neil, and I'm trying to be objective here. Let me say it again.
Are you really being objective, Senator? I just think you've got a bash-a-thon, a name calling at her. If you call that being objective, I don't know. But Senator, I do want to thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me, Neil. I hope you have a better day.
Yeah, so do I. Hope you have a better day. We'll have more after this.
And the thing is, when this happens, I like to play a game of check the bigot's bio to see if they have a cross emoji or a Bible passage or just a good old-fashioned God first in the bio, while calling the Vice President of the United States the original hot tour girl.
Yeah, and then there's the DEI press secretary telling you that the DEI vice president is the future of the party here. And so the future looks kind of dim for the Democrats here, but this is no shocker either. Kamala Harris, she's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got where she is. And the party's going downhill if it's in her hands.
That was tough. That was harsh.
But away from the hate and the hypocrisy, you'll find love on the other side. A love and unity that is spreading across this campaign. And I wanted to bring to your attention particularly this sermon from Reverend Terry Anderson of Lily Grove Missionary Baptist Church in Houston, as he had a message in response to those trying to diminish Kamala Harris's accomplishments as a trailblazing elected official, district attorney, senator, vice president, and soon-to-be Democratic nominee for president as a DEI hire, which for anyone paying attention is simply torn straight from the woke/CR2 book of dog whistles.
On Kamala becoming the presidential nominee, I'm gonna confess, I wasn't too happy about that, but I'm all in now. I'm 100% now for this reason. This representative from Tennessee, sorry, Connie, from Tennessee, he called her a DEI candidate. And then they start calling her colored. Then they start calling her out of her name. And as a black man, I can't let no white man talk about no sister like that. And I not take offense to it. Because who is more disqualified than Donald Trump? And Republicans are all in because he is the avatar for their grievance. How qualified does a black person have to be? Graduated at the top of her class at Howard, went to law school, was Attorney General of a state, a United States Senator, a Vice President of the United States, but she's not qualified? I'm all in. Because I'm not going to let any white man tell me how I ought to feel about a black person. Stony the road we've tried.
And this is the hypocrisy at play, right? These Christians on the right will spread misogynistic lies concerning the vice president while bending the knee to a thrice-married convicted felon found liable of sexual assault. A man who literally paid hush money to a porn star to cover up an illicit affair, and they want to preach family values? I mean, you get JD Couch up here talking family values while swallowing his own words of disdain that he directed towards the man he now serves.
You were calling Trump America's Hitler. Then you kissed his ass. Not true. It is true. And then you kissed his ass. And then he endorsed you. And you said he's the greatest president of all time. Mitch McConnell gave you $40 million to prop up your campaign. Peter Thiel gave you $15 million. That's $55 million, JD. What do you think they want for that? They want your loyalty. And you proved that you'll kiss their ass too.
A man who couldn't quote a single Bible passage if it was on the label of a ketchup bottle.
Well, you can't be serious. I mean, look at this. It is Holy Week. And what does Donald Trump do? He decides to grift off the sale of a Trump-endorsed Bible. He's raising money off of it. I mean, if you want to load irony upon irony, he's raising money off of it to help pay his legal bills, in part for a criminal trial related to his stooping of a porn star while his wife was raising a baby.
So please, spare me your pearl clutching. Irony had no tears left to weep.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.